Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm looking at the Miami Dolphins, determining what I think they should do with their new first-round pick in the NFL draft after they move back to 12 and now back up to number 6 overall. That is what they're sticking with currently in the NFL draft. But before getting into that topic, question for those of you viewing: two all-time Miami Dolphins defensive players, Cameron Wake and Jason Taylor. I think they're the front two in sack count. Who would win in that fight? Cameron Wake or Jason Taylor? Two great defenders, two mutants of guys. It would be a good brawl. Comment down below who you think wins that fight. But in all seriousness, getting to this topic, at number 6 overall, this kind of tells you, it was weird. When they moved back to number 12, you're like, well, they're not, they're invested in Tua. They're not moving on to a different quarterback. They're not going to take Trey Lance or Zach Wilson or Justin Fields or whoever may be available at number 3. Tua is their guy. But then they went back up to 6, and that makes things interesting. And I still don't think they are looking at drafting a quarterback. But if somehow, some miraculous way, a Trey Lance fell in their lap, I think they would at least consider it. As of right now, I see the NFL draft going Jaguars taking Trevor Lawrence, Jets taking Zach Wilson, and Niners taking Trey Lance or Justin Fields, whoever they have the preference for. And then I see the Falcons taking a defensive player, like a big generational offensive player such as Kyle Pitts or Penei Sewell. And then I see the Bengals, same thing, good offensive weapon or protection, Penei Sewell or a Kyle Pitts, whoever it may be. But to me, if the Dolphins got lucky and you say the Jaguars went Trevor Lawrence, the Jets go Penei Sewell, the Niners go Zach Wilson, the Falcons go, Kyle Pitts, and then Bengals go Rashawn Slater, and Trey Lance fell to their lap at number 6, who is a wild card play, and he's a question mark, and we don't know exactly what he will be. I think they will be tempted to take Trey Lance at number 6. I truly believe they should at least consider it, but that would take a lot of, things to fall in their lap. That would take kind of a miracle. I don't see that panning out, but who knows? A lot of people think the Niners will take Justin Fields, so maybe it'll go Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance will still fall. Doesn't have to be that miraculous, but it is still going to need a good amount of luck if that's what the Dolphins are hoping for. But what I think they will do is not make a quarterback move. To me, they're investing in Tua, and I would not be surprised if this team looks at either Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, or whoever the top tackle is. Originally, before a trade, about a month ago, I seriously thought at number 3 overall, the Miami Dolphins were going to take Devontae Smith. He's played with Tua Tagovailoa in Alabama. He just came off winning the Heisman. He won the national championship. I really thought Devontae Smith, he's going to Miami to pair up with Tua again. But then came out Devontae Smith, I don't want to say bashed Tua, but when asked about who he likes better or who he'd rather be, or who's a better quarterback, is it Tua Tagovailoa or Mac Jones? He chose Mac Jones, and that might not be hate towards Tua, but it definitely would just make a little things awkward and not, they're not clearly best buds by any means for him to go out and say that. So I think the awkwardness has kind of not hurt his overall draft stock, but his draft stock when it comes to the Miami Dolphins picking him. To me, Jamar Chase become the number 1 receiver to the Miami Dolphins for sure. And at number 6, who I'd love them to take is Kyle Pitts. However, I don't know if they will go with that move because they have Mike Gesicki. To me, Mike Gesicki's a decent tight end, and he's reliable. He's got good hands. But Kyle Pitts is a generational talent. He ran a 4.48 or 4.46 at 6'6" and 240 pounds. That is unheard of at the tight end position. No tight end runs a 4.4. Look how dominant Gronk is, and he is not fast. There are some fast guys out there. Darren Waller's pretty quick. Travis Kelce's not slow by any means, but 4.4 speed is typically what your wide receiver runs, not your 250-pound tight end that is 6'5" and above. So that is outstanding by Kyle Pitts. It kind of shows you he's not a tight end. He's just offense. He could be whatever you want. He's an offensive weapon. So to me, on the Dolphins, Pitts is number 1 on my radar if he's available at number 6. Number 2 would probably have to go to Jamar Chase. Yeah, you got Devontae Parker and you got Will Fuller. Devontae Parker's a pretty big dude. He could go up and get it, but he's injury prone and a little inconsistent. And Will Fuller, he's not the go get it guy, but he's got speed and he can, burn a couple corners on some burn routes. And I think he could be really productive for the Miami Dolphins, but same thing as Parker. He's very injury prone, so they need a third star who could possibly turn into your number 1 star to be reliable. This receiving core needs depth, and it needs a stud guy that could be the number 1 target. And I think if they go another route, Devontae Parker can evolve into that, and when he's healthy, he can easily be that. But if Jamar Chase is available, this receiving core would be extremely lethal between Jamar Chase, Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, full of great speed and full of great hands. Then you got Mike Gesicki as well to create even more separation and might get open a good amount when you got those fast and good wideouts. The tight end position might be kind of left behind and left a little bit open. So Jamar Chase would be my number 2. Number 3, I would have to go offensive line, either Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater. And there's a 99% chance the Bengals take an offensive lineman, in my opinion, whether it be Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater. And that's just not even counting if the Falcons take an offensive lineman or if the Jets take an offensive lineman, if they're sticking with Sam Darnold. Who knows? So to me, the Dolphins, they're going to need a little bit of luck to get either Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater. But who knows? Maybe they'll luck out and the Bengals go for Kyle Pitts. And now the Dolphins have the number 1 pick at offensive lineman. Do they want Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater? It's up to them. But to me, protection is number 3 on this list. I think you can address the offensive lineman later in the draft. And, of course, you can address any position later in the draft. But to me, Kyle Pitts and Jamar Chase are just too much of a necessity for the Dolphins receiving core that this would just really up their game and take them to the next level. And, of course, Tua needs his time in the pocket. And he's actually is a good scrambler when the pressure comes. He's pretty good on the run, but still we need to develop him more into a thrower and more into a pocket passer so he's not so dependent on his legs. And you need an offensive tackle or just an offensive lineman in general to give him that chance. So offensive lineman is definitely on my radar, but it's going to be number 3. And then, of course, there's other options out there if they want to make, a big move at the number 1 corner, Caleb Farley or Patrick Surtain, whoever he thinks is number 1. Or maybe they're looking for a captain on defense. Maybe they're looking at Micah Parsons. They released Kyle Van Noy this year, one of their top linebackers. They still got pretty good linebacker core already, but I'm just saying maybe they're looking for another leader, looking for another piece on defense. You can't go wrong with the top guy at his position in the NFL draft, but overall, I think the Dolphins are just really going to go with the best availability. They're not going to, in my opinion, they're not going to worry about necessity of receiver or lineman or defensive player, and I think they're going to go with best overall. And with that being said is why I think there's still a good chance that we revolve back to the quarterback position. They didn't trade back up for no reason. They have someone on their eyes. I just don't know who it is. To me, it probably is Jamar Chase because they looked at it this way. We would have had Jamar Chase as a lock at number 3 overall, but if we move back to number 6, still a good chance we'll get him. Yet we got a first rounder or an extra first round just to move back 3 picks. Great move by them. Great move by the GM. And the Dolphins are executing what they got. They're making sure they got every single penny out of Laramie Tunsil. So good for them on making him well more than what he's actually worth. So great move overall, but I have to see and I want to see what they will do to further execute the draft and finish it off. And of course, they still have another first rounder at 18th overall to address whatever they didn't at 6 overall. And maybe if they go Penei Sewell at number 6 at 18th overall, they'll pick up a different receiver, maybe Jalen Waddle, maybe Kadarius Toney from Florida. A lot of options for the Miami Dolphins. Either way, they don't have to hit a home run on this. They just have to get a player that they know could start and is worth being on this team. And again, if I'm the Dolphins and Trey Lance is available, I think that's my pick. That is my honest opinion. Trey Lance is a guy I would roll with if I'm the Dolphins. I'm rolling the dice. I'm taking the gamble to see what he could turn out to be. But in all realness, I think they will go with Kyle Pitts as number 1 priority, then Jamar Chase, and then I think they will look at offensive linemen. And then the 4th priority, if somehow Pitts, Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, and Trey Lance are all taken in the first 5 picks, they'll go defense. But overall, I think they have a lot of options, and they executed this trade today 100%. I just have to see will they execute it on draft day. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think they should do at number 6 overall, and what do you want them to do at number 6 overall? And of course, who wins that fight between Cameron Wake and Jason Taylor? For me, Cameron Wake was just an absolute freak. I'm going to have to go with him in that fight. Comment down below. Like I said, thanks for watching, guys. 2-1.